Thank you very much. I tell you, to come up here, I was having a conversation earlier. I see these great presentations, and I understand why I was stressing about my TED Talk. And as she mentioned some of the things that I've done, one of my friends was like, dude, like, what's your problem? You know how to do this. You're a professor. You go out here and speak. This is how you live your life. But, there's a point in time where you come to a realization that you're part of something bigger. And the gravity of being able to speak to you today about something like purpose is huge. Imagine a guy who comes from a family of doctors and lawyers and tells them, it's time you're graduating high school. So where are you going? To the University of Miami. What are you going to major in? Music. Wait a minute. So we paid for all this other grade schools. You were in all these organizations, and you're going to major in what? Oh, it's a passing thing. Don't worry, Marcus he'll end up doing something else. Well, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I travel the world as a musician. I own a wine brand that's doing very well right now. My book is coming out. I do all these things. But the main question I get when I get out on the road is like, why am I here? Why are we here? And I think humanity is actually at a point where we're getting past the idea of, I'm here to go to work, to get up on Monday, to go to work Monday through Friday, to come home, to get a paycheck at the end of the week, to go buy stuff, to maybe hang out and have parties on Friday and Saturday nights to overcome the fact that I just work Monday through Friday, to come home, to get something, to go out and be a part of something that's the marketing model. What we're talking about is purpose and why we're here. I've come up with a theory and a model that I work with that's kind of a 6 steps of self-commitments. It's called DEPEL. And it's dreaming, environment, planning, executing, listening, and learning. And it's a cycle. I think a lot of times people think that life is about destinations because we do understand the fact that from the time we were born until inevitability, it's linear. However, instead of thinking of life in a linear line, life is much more of a spiral where you can go up and up. Some people, we know them. They're right here. They stayed here. We left them behind in a different country. We left them behind in the hood. We left them behind in one of the dorms at NYU. But your goal in life is to make sure that you invest in you and you make your dream a reality. Nelson Mandela puts it out there in that there's no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that is less than one that you are capable of living. That's called unrealized potential. I'm not down with that. You shouldn't be down with that either. So I created this character called I, because we're not talking about me per se. Therefore, the first step of DEPEL is I must select a dream. From high school going into this music program, I can't tell you the people in my family that laughed at me. My sister was number 2 in her med school class. My brother's an OBGYN. The other one was chief resident. The other one just resigned as dean of professional development here at NYU. But I'm the musician guy. Okay, but it's my choice. This is my dream. I tell people to make sure that you do what you feel makes you smile between the time when you close your eyes and when you go to sleep. Because that's your dream, not your mom's dream, not your dad's dream, not your brother or sister's dream, not your significant other's dream. This is yours to hold on to. And when you are driven by that dream and you understand your purpose, that's when you can realize it. So I'm in music school. It's a process. As you go through it, you think about different things. I had a horrible experience in the music industry. I was on the back of a 767 Trans World Airlines. I'm dating myself. But, Trans World Airlines with tears in my eyes in the back. Flight attendants asking, are you okay? I will be, because I will never be on this side of the desk again. So I decided I'm going to go to law school. Of course, my parents were happy. They thought It was for something else. And honestly, I started looking at things through their lenses. Maybe I could affect change as a Supreme Court justice. Maybe I could affect change as the Attorney General. You know, took my LSATs, first time I did, maybe law school might not be for me. I did well enough to get into a couple of schools, but that's not enough for me. I dream big, crazy dreams. Because if they're not laughing at your dreams, y'all, your dreams are not big enough. So, take it again, do pretty well, get into a little school called Georgetown, or a very good school called Georgetown. And so I'm at Georgetown Law, and it was funny because I got cards, because I had to go back to my school. I had professors that told me, what law school were you going to, the Cracker Jacks University? People that are entrusted with giving me guidance, telling me that I was going to get a law degree from Cracker Jacks U. So you can imagine the gratification of my business card that said Georgetown student of the laws as I pass it across. But not to make a personal point per se, but also to say don't ever squash somebody's dream just because you may not have done it and you made a choice to do something else. These are our dreams. They have to be personal. They are our choice. And that makes it imperative that we also take accountability for them. The second thing, is that we need to create an environment. I must create a nurturing environment. I still think that we're kind of farmers. People laugh at me. They're like, yeah, maybe so. What do you mean? Well, if our dream is the seed, we have to plant it somewhere that's fertile. Right now in this school, you all understand what I mean. No matter whether you're a freshman, whether you're a senior, whether you're a professor, whether you're just someone here today listening to this, about having people in your life that are nurturing, where you get nutrients, where it promotes positive growth. Because I tell you, if you try to plant a dream or plant a seed in asphalt, chances are it's not going to grow. But with support, but with the proper planning, with the proper people, with the proper promotion, these are the people that when you are down, and I tell you, I have been down in my life. I have had more failures, and I know I have many more coming, but do you know who gets me through them? Those people that I have around me. So, that you need a constructively critical people on your team. You need productive, supportive people on your team. And then, as you're always analyzing this, sometimes we need to have surgery. If we had pancreatic cancer, what would you do? You try to figure out how to get it and eradicate it from your system and your body. But I know right now, there are all of us, including me, facing challenges with people and environments in our life of which we need to have a surgical intervention to rid ourselves of them. Again, this is your life. This is your dream. This is your choice. I challenge you to make sure that you question who you need to remove and what you need to remove and what you need to add in so that you have that nurturing mix as you go forward and have a great environment. Now, then we have to go to planning. We have to put it all down in a plan. What is a plan? Marcus, I think I'm going to do da-da-da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da-da. Is it written down? No, it's not a plan. Question, would you get on an airplane if they said, GPS ain't working? Our flight plan is, I think we're going from JFK to DCA. Don't know what the weather is, but come get on the plane. Who's getting on that airplane? Exactly, none of us. But isn't our life more important than that kind of journey? Isn't our life a journey just like that? Why not put it on paper? GPS won't get you anywhere if you don't know where you are, so I need to know what's going on right now. I need to know where I want to go. I need to know how I'm going to get there. I need to know what I have to use, what resources that I have in my life. I put a plan together once for my record studio a couple of years ago. Had the chance to meet a guy named Bob Johnson, who at the time had just become the world's first African-American billionaire. BET was promoting an event, and I saw him. I looked up. I was like, this is my chance. I'd been turned down numerous times for funding. I get a tap on my shoulder as I'm waiting to go on the stage. Bob's like, Marcus, Bob Johnson. I'm like, no kidding. All righty, so we start talking for a little bit. I'm proud of you, Bob, da-da-da-da. Can I take you out to lunch? He laughs. I get a call after talking to his assistant. She's like, Marcus, Mr. Johnson would like to have you come in. That pledge session was 3 hours long. And when I say pledging, like fraternity pledging, like we're not supposed to do, I got grilled about music, life, my mama, you know, what I thought about life, this, that, and the other. How would we grow? How would you grow in the music business? At the end of 3 hours, Bob says, Marcus, how do I become a part of this? I'm like, uh-oh, I'll be right back in a couple of days. Let me put my plan, let me tweak it a little bit. A week later, I'm in there, we're working, we're looking over the plan. He says, by the way, I'm gonna fund this for you. And you're looking for 2.3 million. I don't like decimal points. I know you need a little bit more, so let's round it up to 3. And he said this, I'm down with you because you put the plan together. Very important. One, a plan lets you know where you're going, but it also lets people know that you're serious about what you're doing in life. And that's how I got my first multi-million-dollar deal. From one of, I would say, the most, let's say, he might be controversial in some ways, but at the same time, one of the most successful African-American business people ever. Planning. Then we got to make it happen. So I have 18 CDs now. I have a wine brand that's a top 10 in the USA Today polls and things like that. And people are like, well, Marcus, how do you get that done? Well, number one, any way you can legally. But it's hard work. It's getting in the cars. I was sitting with my business partner 4 years ago, and I'm like, man, look, we have a deal on the table. We're producing in Virginia now. We have a deal on the table with Super Value for 800 stores, sight unseen, but we need to get California wine in the bottles. How do we do it? Well, we followed this plan. We put our plan together. We got in cars, met with Eric Winty of Winty Family Vineyards, Sam Spencer, Cameron Hughes, and then we ended up with a company called Delicato, the #4 producer of wine on the planet. God was like, well, you know, what's really interesting, Marcus, is the fact that, you know, I thought you all had a rowboat, but you all have a motorboat. Your plan is together. But the thing I respect the most about you is that you already have how you're going to get it produced, and you got in your car, and you came out here and looked me in the eye, and what we did is we asked him a simple question. Will you dance with me? Now, I'm a romantic at heart. You know, I mean, I have a radio show now, and I play a lot of, like, you know, just music with words about love, because I think that really keeps everything going. Purpose, love. It's probably relevant right now. You know, you're at that party, and you see that special someone over there, and you're just like, I'm planning to go ask them to dance, and your shoulders slump down, and you walk away. I guarantee you, when you do that, the answer's always no. But when you decide to go up and say, hey, look, I'm going to take a chance. The answer still may be no, but if you have your stuff together, there are going to be some times where people will come out and they will actually dance with you. And that's how we are now, from bottles to on the shelves at Costco and Target and Whole Foods, and, you know, continue to grow this brand. We're exporting. I was just talking earlier to places like Luanda, Angola. Imagine that. I didn't, but it happened, and we made it happen. Getting out there and doing the hard work is very important. And then our character, must take time out to listen and learn. This is reflection. I know we're here at, you know, sitting here at NYU, and you're taught just to do and do and do. What's next? Sometimes, where I come from, you know, on the 7th day, even God sat back and was like, okay, this is good, I'm gonna chill. I've created everything, so let me sit back, look at it, it was good, and I'm gonna chill. But yet, we continue to just go out and do and do. Even a Ferrari needs an oil change. Going back to the airplane, going back to, you know, the airplane analogy. Would you get on an airplane that they told you didn't have an oil change and hadn't been maintained in years? Yet we do that to ourselves every day. There's kind of how do I want to say it? there's a type of admiration we have in saying, I'm busy. I'm so busy, I'm doing and then you go to sleep at night, and the only thing you remember is waking up the next morning. What did you dream about? I don't know, because my brain was tired. It told me, just go to sleep and just wake up. And then what do? You go back to the same thing. You need to ask yourself, did I ask the right person to dance? How am I feeling about where I am in my life? You take what you don't like and you make it good. You take what you do like and you and make it even better. Reflection is very key in listening and learning. Getting rest. Taking time out to say, Nemo jumped out of the Gulf Stream. Why can't we? Why do we think that doing something is better than nothing sometimes? Sometimes it's good just to take care of yourself. Look in the mirror, wink at yourself a little bit, and say, you know what? It's good. It's very good. So after all of these, I must dream, I must create a great environment, I must plan, I must execute, I must listen and learn. I must get thy flow on. And Flow is this company I have, and I didn't even know what I was doing. It came to form, and for the love of. That's the acronym. That's what it means. They talk about flow and flow W, just going through the vibe, and you're in there, making the shots, doing the math paper, everything like that. Sometimes flow is just for the love of. And I challenge you to do everything in your life, all the big dreams that you do, every step that you take, every rest that you take. Make sure that it is flow you, that it is for the love of you. Get your flow on. Thank you very much.